taking notes during lectures, doing exercises while listening to music, and taking multiple restaurants orders at once. Do you have any idea on what topic do I want to share today? I believe that most of us have done all these things multiple times. These actions are called multitasking. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amira Izzah binti Zainuddin. Today I will deliver my speech entitled Disadvantages of Multitasking. The Oxford Dictionary defines multitasking as the ability to do several things simultaneously. It is often associated with various benefits such as save time and money and increase productivity. However, did you know that only 2% of society actually does multitasking? This is proven by a study done by Dr. David Sanborn-Matsu. He also found an inverse relationship between perceived multitasking ability and actual multitasking ability. Recent studies also found that multitasking contributes to many disadvantages, especially for those who overestimate their ability to multitask. There are 3 disadvantages that I want to emphasize in my speech, which are: it can reduce memory function, reduce overall performance while prone to make errors, and it may be fatal. I have always wondered if multitasking is a good or bad thing, as I often do it. I have done extensive reading and studied articles and books related that can be found on the internet. First, I will discuss how it reduces memory function. Second, I will discuss why it reduces overall performance while prone to make errors. Finally, I will discuss how it may lead to fatal. As multitasking might have various pros, it also actually leads to many disadvantages unconsciously. Firstly, it may reduce memory function, either working memory or long-term memory. Cohen defined working memory as the small amount of information that can be held in mind and used in the execution of cognitive tasks. In contrast with long-term memory, the vast amount of information saved in one's life. Working memory and attention are significantly related to each other. When multiple things are done at a time, our attention will be switched repeatedly according to the task. A study conducted showed that attention and working memory are proportionately related, thus showing that decreasing attention will decrease working memory performances. Another study also showed that heavy media multitaskers perform poorly on working memory than light media multitaskers, either in the presence or absence of distraction, and also have worse performance in long-term memory tests based on media multitasking index score. Now, we will move on to the second point. Next, it also can reduce overall performance while prone to making errors. There is a theory called bottleneck theory, which is often related to the brain. This theory states that individuals have a limited capacity of attentional resources at a time. It can be simulated as a large bottle is turned upside down, being the bottle as the brain and the neck as an output from the stimulus received. The same as only a marble can pass through a narrow path of the bottle, it works also with the brain, as it can only receive one task at a time. As we constantly switch our minds between 2 or more tasks at a time, it may slow us down, as the brain needs time to process and produce the output from the stimulus received. Thus, the phrase that multitasking saves our time is just a myth. According to Kendra in her 2023 article, changing our focus keeps us relying on automatic behaviors to finish the task quickly. Doing a thing in such a speedy manner is prone to make errors because we do not have enough time to ensure if all the information received are correct or just a false alarm. In her article also stated that, based on research by Belaw in 2015, found that students who multitask in class tend to have poor academic performances as they are more distracted and do not have enough attention on the lecture. Next, we will move to the last point of my speech. Finally, multitasking can lead to fatal unconsciously. Jennifer E. Davis wrote in her article that multitaskers have high levels of stress which causes blood pressure to increase. When we tend to do multiple things at a time, we need to think about a lot of things that several times we cannot decide which tasks need to be prioritized and end up being frustrated. In long-term effect, it might impair the brain permanently as it increases the risk of cerebrovascular disease and cognitive impairment. Driving or riding while using a phone is an action that most of us do multiple times in a day. It might be a simple matter, but multitasking in these kinds of action, such as while attending to a heavy machine, makes us distracted and lose our focus to handle it carefully. There are lots of accidents that happen involving multitasking. According to Myros in 2013, there were significantly higher fatalities in crashes involving mobile phones, as much as 445 deaths. In a nutshell, there are many disadvantages of multitasking that may affect our daily life, which are: it can reduce memory function, reduce overall performance while prone to make errors, may lead to fatal, and it can be more. Multitasking might be helpful sometimes, but we need to minimize it in our life as it might bring more harm than good. So that's all from me. Thank you.